guys, thank you so much for taking the time. I'm really happy to talk to you. I think people here are really excited about your show in Buenos Aires. It's your first time here, right?
See, yeah,
Yeah. First time in South. Oh no, not first time in South America, but down this far.
down this far,
Yeah.
yeah.
We are really looking forward to the show. So before talking about the your music and everything, when you travel this far for a tour, what are you usually hoping to experience in a city besides the actual concert?
Oh, we usually try and get out in the morning and see a few of the sights and jump on a electric scooter or something and go for a bit of a boost around. And we will usually try and have some of the local cuisine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite thing is trying different food and different beers. Um,
Yes, here in Buenos Aires, you will be able to try a lot of food. Okay, so now speaking about your music, I feel like your music it's relaxed and intimate, but at the same time, it still works in festivals and bigger live settings. So when you're writing or producing, do you imagine people listening alone with headphones, or do you think more about the collective live experience?
Yeah, I think we go through a range of those emotions when we're writing. So sometimes different songs will suit that sort of more intimate kind of loving atmosphere. And then, some of the stuff that we make, we go, oh, this actually could work at a festival or that high energy kind of thing. So I guess, yeah, leisure is all like has been about big energy love songs. So whichever way that is portrayed at a show.
a lot of the time when we make the music, we're together and um, having fun and creating. So I think that's where the sort of the energy comes from in regards to people coming to the shows and enjoying it with other people, whether it's their friends or loved one.
And what kind of atmosphere are you trying to create during these concerts in this tour?
Oh, it's just a good time where people can come along and sing along and celebrate the music, and I think meet people, enjoy being in a room together,
Mm.
and just having a bit of a break from your life to enjoy yourself. And we try and put on the best show and just create a fun, safe environment.
Okay, so you've been a collective from the beginning, and I imagine having six people involved can either be very inspiring or maybe a very chaotic experience. So how does leisure actually work creatively?
Good question. No, it's all very I think that's the beauty of leisure is that we can do it separately but obviously we like to be together when we do it, but we've got families and we've got lives, so that we're sort of constantly creating. Everyone's sort of making things and sending ideas to each other. And then we try and get together as often as we can and make stuff together because that's always sort of where the best stuff comes from. Um, but I think we've got a really good creative chemistry between the six of us where we can sort of feel free to put ideas forward without too much judgment.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've just sort of found this really good balance of, you know, keeping momentum going with constantly sending ideas through and then just getting together as often as we can to actually sort of make as much stuff together.
So that everyone brings ideas to the band.
Yeah, and I also think that we've all got different tastes. So we've all been listening to different things growing up, different influences, different ideas on what makes us excited personally about the music. And then I think when we combine that together, it becomes the leisure thing, and it's a magic formula for us.
And what are those influences?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty wide ranging these days, isn't it? So a
Mm.
lot of old music, like for me, it's a lot of the stuff from the 70s and 80s that sort of I guess, yeah, in 2026, there's been so many ideas that have been put forward. So I think the best way for inspiration can be to go backwards and find, yeah, inspiration from the 70s, 80s, 90s. So that's sort of my side of it. And then, some of the other guys are into more kind of psychedelic stuff. So it ends up being a bit of a whirlwind of influences in the end.
Yeah, I think with leisure, a goal to try and make something that will stand the test of time and not date too much. So a lot of and just classic songwriting. So I think there's a lot of examples of references that we have, like Carole King and the Beatles, and a lot of melodic stuff that comes in. But yeah, it's a very eclectic mix.
So, with your latest album, Welcome to the Mood, you move into a more organic direction, more live instruments, strings, backing vocals. So, how conscious was that shift? Did you feel you need to move away a little bit from purely electronic production? What's what's that mood?
Yeah, that I think we, at the start of after we finish an album, we always think about what's next. And I think Welcome to the Mood, we wanted it to feel like the band playing in a room, and we wanted the songs to be songs that we could play together as a band. And
Easier.
easier, yeah. And so that sort of, I think, helped shape the direction. We did a lot of the songs, like we would record the band together in a studio, to get the bones of everything, and then we can add more like production stuff later on. But it took it took a little while before we sort of settled on the sonic aesthetic.
But we have been starting to tour more, so we were spending more time playing live together. So we wanted the recording to sort of reflect that chemistry that we had been working on, and that connection that we had with the live audience through the dynamics of the live instruments.
And more generally, what kind of sound are you chasing these days?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. We don't put too much pressure on going, it's going to be this. We get together, we write, we hang out, we talk, and we just constantly keep on creating. And usually through that process, we find a spark and we start gravitating towards something. And then there'll be a song or a lyric or a theme that starts to rise to the top, and we slowly sort of hone it into a more refined thing through that process.
And I like to ask you, you built a really global audience over the years, which is interesting because your sound feels like very relaxed, and it's not chasing huge pop moments. But did the growth of the band happen gradually for you, or was there a moment where you suddenly realized Leisure had become something much bigger?
Yeah, well, I think when we started almost 10 years ago, it was never on our radar for even Leisure to be a band. So we'd made the music at a little place out in New Zealand, with not much thought about it. And we just knew that we liked these songs that we'd made together, and we'd put it out and see what would happen. So I think we're sort of still in this process of pinching ourselves. It's crazy that we get to go and play in these incredible places for people, and really make memories for them from these songs that we've written by ourselves. So it's now we're sort of, I guess, in this sharing the music mode, and almost still a discovery band. Like people are still finding Leisure next week. So it's definitely been a gradual thing, but I really feel like we've found our people now. And I think if you like what we make, then come along for the ride.
We've just always focused on the music, and the creative and the world that we build around that music, and the things that are the most fun, which is getting together and creating and just putting all of our time and attention into making the best thing possible. And I think that over the years that's helped us to be patient and to focus on the right things and not get distracted. And I think that's where we've built a connection with fans, where they know what they're gonna get from us, and we are learning more about our fan base as we go out and travel and meet people. And being able to come to places like this just only enriches the whole experience, and we can take that back into the music as well.
Yeah, nice.
And how is it to build that fan base from New Zealand?
Yeah, I think that's been the one of the craziest things for us, because obviously we're so far away from the rest of the world in New Zealand that we can see the data and we can see the numbers, but it's not until we actually come out and play the shows and we go, what the hell? Like, there's all these people here to listen to us. So it's still, again, it's another sort of pinch me moment. So and I think it just shows the power of the music, that we don't get to travel around that much, or we don't get to do that much touring. So the fact that when we do come, there's all these people here, it's crazy.
Okay, and before we finish, do you have a message for your Argentinian audience?
Yeah. We can't wait to see everybody. We've been looking forward to this trip for ages. We're big football fans, so it's great to be down in this part of the world. And we're going to put on an awesome show, and we can't wait to see you soon.
Thank you very much for your time. We are really excited to have you in Buenos Aires for the first time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Gracias.